Dubs fans, how we doing? Hey, we're back. Golden State Warriors fans, we are back. My name's C-Train. Welcome to C-Train Station. Welcome back to so many of those followers and subscribers, and thank you so much for your support. So the Warriors held their media day today, right? They held their 2025-26 media day, and here are just a few takeaways. Here are just a few of my initial impressions, first impressions, initial thoughts. This was definitely a more disjointed media day in terms of presentation and content from the Golden State Warriors. What do I mean by that? Like, Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. was nowhere to be found, so he wasn't there. And he wasn't interviewed, was not available. Okay. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr, not available, nowhere to be found. Okay. So that's like your front office, though. That's literally so like only players are there. Wait. Actually, Al Horford, who is sort of signed, he's not going to be there because he isn't technically signed yet. Neither is DeAnthony Melton. Okay, got it. So do you see the picture that I'm painting? It was very strange that Kerr and Dunleavy weren't available to speak. And of course, in my opinion, of course, this was because of the Jonathan Kuminga contract, which is still to be determined. So I like the vibe, and credit to leadership, veteran leadership, to be specific. And so I like the vibe with the players that I see there, but I don't love the vibe. I like it, but don't love it. I think that Jimmy Butler last week a few weeks ago, he had a get together, a little mini training camp with members of, I believe, the whole entire Golden State Warriors roster, except for Jonathan Kuminga, was there. And just as much, I guess, as it was like any on-court stuff, it was about team building. It was about building these relationships that with coworkers and players, like fellow brethren, right, that you're going to be with for the whole entire season. And that is so important. There is a lot of work that a team can do beforehand, and a lot of bonding. And here's like an example, and this is just like the extreme level of what I'm talking about and how it pays off can be found in like the Stephen Curry and Draymond Green relationship on the court. Now, do you see, they have like go-to moves, and those go-to moves, like like the Draymond gets the ball at the top of the key, fakes it to friggin' Steph, who swings by, and then Draymond dives. So he takes the ball and dives right towards the basket. Like, you've seen so many of those fake screen stuff. You've seen so many just Stephen Curry and Draymond Green plays where they're playing off of each other, and that is through years and years of practice. And that's on the court practice, off the court. You're practicing communication, and also you're practicing your on the court skills, which involves communication as well. But what I'm saying is so much of the trust, so much of the buy-in, so much of the sacrifice that these players have for the Golden State Warriors. Seriously, a lot of that is cultivated in the hours of them hanging out at Jimmy Butler's house. I know, of their bonding experience at Jimmy Butler's house. So credit to the veteran leadership, because I think that the get-together at Jimmy Butler's pad was definitely needed. I love what players who were there, Gui Santos, Will Richard, Quentin Post, when asked about things that they worked on, all of them included defense. So we're hearing what we want to hear from at least the players that we're hearing from, right? Which are, honestly, when we're talking about Post, he's an integral role player, right? Will Richard and Gui Santos a little bit further back in the pecking order, like, although Gui has that wing to post ability, right? He's like that 3-4 combination, and so he can play up, so he may get some playing time as well. But I like the fact that players are at least mentioned. They're towing the line. I believe, which is like the company line, which is like defense first, sacrifice for the team. And that's great. Good. That's good. At least we're not seeing, hey, do a Twitter search for Jeremy Grant, Jerami Grant. He's a player for the Portland Trailblazers. See what he talked about today. He literally, so like what we're not seeing. So I'm telling you that like, okay, I'm seeing like a lot of like, players towing the company line, saying that they'll buy in defensively into the pro. I get that, right? But what I didn't see are like the Jeremy Grants of the world. And Jeremy Grant literally said like, I'm surprised to be on the Portland Trailblazers right now. I don't really want to be on their team. I mean, sort of interested in basketball, I guess, but I definitely need to be a starter, even though like so many players are ahead of me in the pecking order on the Trailblazers. I demand to be a starter. I'm not going to buy in. It's like, what? Oh my gosh. Like the Portland Trailblazers have an issue with him, by the way. But so that's what the Warriors had is the anti that. So sometimes it's like when I'm describing what the Warriors were, they certainly weren't that. At least we didn't see any team dynamic destroying, attempts on the onsite. Who knows what Kuminga was doing offsite? But at least it's all good. It's all good vibes so far for the Golden State Warriors. Everyone is healthy. I think that's a big thing. No, there's no like this person just, has a strained quad and is going to be out for, maybe a month or two. There's nothing really. For all intents and purposes, it appears as though Warriors who went into the offseason needing surgeries like Brandon Pajensky, I believe Moses Moody, I believe that they've all been giving clear bills of health, and that is so important. It's important, especially for those younger players, because they are going to get play. Moses Moody, Brandon Pajensky, they are going to get run this season, in my opinion, because they have to. There need to be some player under 30 years old who's taking some of these minutes from a team. Did you know the Warriors average? It's possible that the Warriors, their average starting lineup, whatever, is going to be 36 years old. I just saw that in the Twitter sphere. Probably incorrect because I think that they didn't put Pajensky in there. I think Pajensky's going to start. So let's see here. We see the Buddy and Jimmy Love connection, and I love that. And this is funny because it's like, I went on a rant just a few minutes ago about like how integral the team building and communication and all this stuff. And I sort of went like aloof, and then I tried to bring it back. Well, I'm going to bring it back through the Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield connection / relationship. I actually believe, this is crazy, but so Buddy Hield and Jimmy Butler are good friends. They got this like Batman and Robin thing, or Robin and Alfred thing going on with the Warriors, and we love it. There's a brotherly love, and we see it and we love it as Warriors fans. But here's where it translates to the court. I absolutely believe, and I believe without a shadow of a doubt, 100%, I believe that Buddy Hield was so effective in the playoffs against Houston specifically because he bought in, because I know this sounds weird. He played even harder because Jimmy Butler was his teammate. They were buddies, and Jimmy needed defensive buy-in. I get it. It's like, what? That's stretching it, C-Train. And it is stretching it. But what I'm saying is every little thing adds up. And that Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield connection could seriously be the difference between Buddy Hield sort of half-assing it on defense and buying in 110% like he did in the playoffs against the Rockets. And I can't stress this enough. Buddy Hield was great. He had really, really, really good defense, specifically in the playoffs against the Rockets. I think that it's those connections. It's that communication, that friendship, that bond that creates the sacrifice that allows Buddy Hield to thrive in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. So I love that. Love the love connection there. A lot of love in the air, right? It looks as though the team are clear on goals and rules. Right. Will Richard said, look, I'll play any type of I just want to play defense and be a dog. That's what the Warriors are going to ask of him, right? Perfect. Gui Santos, the Quentin Post as well, talking about how he wanted to be a better defender and just really hone in and improve his perimeter shooting. I love that. So, of course, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, though. By the way, hey, Dubnation, I made it more or less 10 minutes without really talking about Jonathan Kuminga. Can you say that? If you've made it, write in the comments. Come on, hey, roll with the C train right here. Have you seen that in other content creators and anybody else with the Warriors? That's 10 straight minutes of almost pure basketball sans Jonathan Kuminga. But now the elephant is in the room. Let's talk about Kuminga just real quick. I love what the Warriors, particularly the Warriors' big three, Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler, said with regards to Jonathan Kuminga and his situation. Draymond and Jimmy talked about how business is separate from the player, right? Draymond said he talked to, I believe that Draymond said that he talked to Kuminga and he wants to be here. I love it. I love what I'm hearing. I specifically love, though, what I heard from Stephen Curry. And this is what he said, something to the gist of, Steph said, look, I'm going to listen to what Kuminga has told me. What Kuminga, the man from Democratic Republic of Congo, has told me, the man, I believe Steph was born in Akron or something like that. Okay. So it's like, I love that Stephen Curry, so long story short is there are a lot of players and members of the Warriors, and it's pretty much out there now. They were reportedly like really turned off by the podcast tour that Jonathan Kuminga's agent went on. And add me to the list. I believe that it didn't. I believe that his agent, there was nothing productive from that podcast tour, and that it only really it was only made almost to divide the Warriors from Kuminga. Not a lot of, and like the only thing about buying is I think that Kuminga's agent said, like, if you pay Kuminga what he wants is the only condition that he'll buy in on the squad. It's like, dude, the speak coming from this guy is all wrong. And also he did mention, like, so Kuminga's agent legit, he mentioned something about that it was his idea about all this player option stuff. That's crazy talk then. Because, like, I believe that the thing separating the Warriors and Kuminga, now we're going to actually get into it, is that I believe that there's like a player option or team option or whatever. Okay, like the bottom line is, okay, I actually, when I initially did a mock Kuminga contract, I did 3 years, and one of the years was the last year was a player option for Kuminga. So I actually gave Kuminga the player option. But Kuminga has essentially stated that many people believe that Kuminga doesn't want to play and be on the Warriors. So it's very difficult. It's tough to really grasp and actually, rather than get into it, rather than really just dive into it, I'm going to tell you this, Warriors fans, Dubnation, be really happy for what we saw today. What we saw was happy and healthy members of Golden State Warriors, and we didn't see anything else. So we didn't get a taste of any dissatisfaction, really, other than Stephen Curry sort of throwing slight jab at Kuminga's agent, right? Saying that, like, I'll listen to Kuminga and not his agent. So the vibes are still good, and Kuminga essentially has to make a decision within 48 hours. Yes, I believe on midnight on Wednesday, I believe. So he has 48 hours as of this. He either the qualifying offer, the 7.1 qualifying offer, will be taken away, and so essentially Kuminga will be forced to make a decision on that qualifying offer, which is the 1 year, and then after that, Kuminga is completely free agent. He has to make a decision on that by midnight on Wednesday. So we just got to be patient. You've rode with me this long, right? Roll with me another couple days. You will see a video immediately. Once Jonathan Kuminga makes that decision, you will hear from me. And I hope to hear from you about your thoughts about that as well. So I love it. I like what this team is about, but the jury's still out. I think that they, in my opinion, just first thoughts, I think that they maybe should have sacrificed a little bit of depth, like their 11th, 12th, and 13th players, and gotten a little bit more talent. So, like, for example, is like, I believe that they should not have traded down in the second round, and they could have gotten Maxim Reynaud, who's a really, really skilled big man with potential. So, I believe that they need a little bit more talent on the deep end of their roster. But hey, that's about it. The jury is still out. So I love it. I love it. Thank you so much to those who follow and subscribe. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and I have you to thank for it. We're going to have a great season here at C-Train Station with the Golden State Warriors. And of course, for your Golden State Warriors content, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time at C-Train Station. Hey, go Dubs. Looking forward to this season. Let's have some fun.